You can tell everyone I said this. Nicolas Cage, Bat Tipper.
Welcome to the Too Old or Pure Gold Movie Podcast. In today's special April Fool's Day episode, we're discussing the 1988 comedy movie Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. The format of our podcast, two Gen Xers rewatch beloved movies from our youth to find out, are they really as good as we remember? To help us debate and ultimately pass judgment, we ask our millennial co-hosts to watch these movies for the first time and help us determine, are they too old or pure gold? I'm your host, Olen Vanderleeden, representing Gen X. Joining me today is my Gen X co-host, Mathew Stockton.
Hello, everybody.
Representing the millennials this week, we have comedian Will Corry.
Hey, I'm back.
And also representing the millennials, first time on the podcast, we have comedian Zawer.
Hello.
How you doing?
Great.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So, Mathew, for the record, one of us four here has actually been called BC's funniest person of 2025. Any guesses who that is?
I didn't even know I was nominated.
Oh, no. Just giving you a run for your money next year.
I knew that joke was going to go that way. Okay, let's talk about the movie. Today's movie is the 1988 comedy movie Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels stars Steve Martin and Michael Caine. This movie is directed by Frank Oz. Frank Oz is actually known as a puppeteer performer. He's responsible for characters like Yoda, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, and the Animal. He got his directorial review in the puppet-based movie The Dark Crystal. And his first move into non-puppet movies was a movie called In and Out, starring Kevin Kline. And after this film, he actually had a strong career in other comedies. He did What About Bob and Bowfinger, for example. The tagline from this movie poster is, "Nice guys finish last, meet the winners." IMDb describes the film as two con men try to settle their rivalry by betting on who can swindle a young American heiress out of $50,000 first. And for those of you that have not seen the movie, I asked my 94-year-old dad to watch Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and summarize the plot.
This movie is starring the very funny Michael Caine and Steve Martin as competing con artists on the French Riviera. The suave Lawrence Jameson specializes in swindling beautiful, wealthy women. Unfortunately for him, his comfortable source of income is threatened by the arrival of the small-time American hustler Freddie Benson. Realizing that Benson may go after the same beautiful, wealthy target, he challenges him to a competition. Whoever manages to swindle socialite Janet Colgate out of $50,000 gets to stay, and the other would have to leave town. What follows is a series of funny scenes, such as Lawrence teaching Freddie how to behave like a sophisticated upper society gentleman, but Janet has caught on to the scoundrel's tricks. Not only that, but she manages to con Lawrence out of the $50,000, after which we are informed that the gentlemen decided to combine their talents and form a new partnership. Simple, eh? Well, enjoy.
He loved it, for the record. This is exactly up his alley, this kind of movie. So let's jump right in and find out whether you guys like this movie or not. Who wants to go?
I'll go. I enjoyed parts of this movie. I thought it was entertaining, and I was pleasantly surprised certain parts. But again, and I hate to harp on this, you know how I feel about a 90-minute plus comedy. They have no place.
When I was in the last quarter of this film, I was thinking about you, Will.
I just am like, wrap it up. You know what I mean? Like, 90 minutes, 95, you know? But it was, what was it, an hour 50, yeah. I think?
Yeah.
So it was just, it dragged a bit for me. I think he could have tightened up some things. You know, maybe someone needs to teach the puppeteer about cinema a little bit. But no, it was good. Then we can get into the best parts and whatnot, but it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine. There you go.
Like I didn't dislike it, but I wasn't gonna watch it again. It was like, yeah, that was a movie, definitely.
Middle down the road. Middle of the road comedy.
Matthew, I know you can push this one way or the other. What do you think?
So I've never seen this before, and I genuinely loved this film.
Oh, there you go.
Like not just liked it, loved it from beginning to end, and I think it was so well constructed. It's like absurd humor, but so well constructed into a movie. It kept me going, and the ending, I just loved the ending, and I loved her, and it's just fun. I thought I wasn't gonna like this movie, and it's instantly one of my favorite comedies.
Well, that's good. For me, I haven't watched this since 1988, and I only remembered bits and pieces of it. I mean, especially the parts about Rupert, I really remembered, and Rupert, which I think just the name itself is brilliant. For me, I think the discussion's going to help sway me. I found it entertaining, but a little slow and a little dated. I actually thought it was still a great pairing, these two. Steve Martin and the Straight Man. I thought it really showed off Steve Martin's comic abilities. Great concept, but honestly, I couldn't help thinking about more modern versions that I thought were a little smarter and a little better. Like, I know it's not exactly comparable, but I kept thinking about Ocean's 11 as a movie. Sort of the con movie, a little bit of humor in it, a little bit of action in it. But I agree with Zawer on this. It was a movie. It was I didn't hate watching it. There were parts of it that I thought were super funny. So if you just settle in and relax, you can have a good time. But we'll see at the end whether it's old or gold. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's funnier. Like the plot is funnier than the scenes.
Oh, interesting.
Like there could have been more jokes packed into it.
Except
I probably laughed harder during parts of Ocean's 11.
yeah, that's
like for real.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Ocean's 11 was funny, but they had just sort of a good dry humor in that. Well, what did you guys think of Steve Martin and Michael Caine together?
I think, well, I hadn't seen Michael Caine in a ton of comedies, I don't think. Like, we obviously probably know him from his later years, the Christopher Nolan movies and all that. He plays pretty serious roles. But I think, he's obviously got comedic chops, and I think he played his part pretty well. And for Steve Martin, he was like a comedy powerhouse, but like obviously way before our time. I think Zawer, you've seen a lot of his stand-up, probably, right? Did you?
Yeah, enough.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I never really watched his stand-up, but like I've seen him, Cheaper by the Dozen. That's like a modern Steve Martin movie. So I knew he was like hilarious. I do want to know why Steve Martin is so gray and silver. Like, wasn't he 30 in this movie?
Yeah, his hair was like
always
that from
white
the start.
hair.
Yeah.
He was cursed by a ghost or something. Like
But it's not just his hair.
Its whole
He
body
looks the
is
same.
see-through. It's crazy.
Oh, you guys are going straight to worst parts. He looks disgusting in a Speedo. Holy shit.
The beach scene is shocking. It's like he sticks out like a fucking,
Well, there was also a part of the movie where they were like, you're the young guy. And it was like...
Yeah. He looks so much older than Michael Caine. It's weird.
I know. And even Michael Caine was only mid-50s. I mean, he's my age, for fuck's sake. Like, come on.
I thought they really, I think the pairing was brilliant because, Caine plays like absolute control, right? So stillness and precision, and he underplays everything. And Martin is exactly the opposite. The physical chaos, elastic face sort of shit that he does. So together, I just thought they were a great duo. Yeah.
That's true. There was a good like dichotomy of their con styles for sure. Steve Martin was more like the cowboy, and then Michael Caine was the mastermind.
Yeah, the thing about Steve Martin, though, even though he does like that sort of slapsticky, a lot of body stuff, I think why he's such a good comedian is he's actually incredibly disciplined in what he does. Like if you imagine him practicing to pull some of the slapstick off, you're like, that's a lot of work, right? Because he does it so well.
Oh, it's a very physical comedy, for sure.
Yeah, but he does it so well. I mean, other physical comedians are just like, sort of messy, but he's always done it really well.
And Michael Caine, so this was in the middle of Michael Caine's resurrection. So he did a lot of movies when he was young, And then he had a stretch where he was just mailing it in for cash. Famously, he did Jaws 4, and he's got a famous quote from when he did Jaws 4, which was the year before this, by the way, which he says, "I've never seen the movie, I've only seen the house it bought." Because he was totally doing things for money. But this is his, he just won an Oscar for Hannah and Her Sisters the year before this. And this was, I believe, his first try at comedy. But he went on to do other comedies. He was, if you've ever seen Miss Congeniality, he was very funny in that.
That was a good film, actually. Yeah.
By the way, I just wanted to note for you guys, this is actually a remake. So this is a remake of a movie called Bedtime Stories from 1964, starring Marlon Brando and David Niven. And I checked the box office results, and this one did 3 times better than the original.
That's such a weird title for what this movie is.
I know.
Bedtime stories?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense at all.
I guess trying to get women in bed, I'm not really sure, but
it's strange.
I'm not dedicated enough that I went and watched it. I did not. So then, Matthew, I just wanted to ask you, I mean, can we compare this to a movie like The Sting? I think The Sting is not a comedy, but it's probably one of the best con movies ever, right? Robert Redford, Paul Newman.
Yeah, and I think it's actually, this is comparable to The Sting, even though it's a comedy, right? It's what I loved about this is it wasn't about the money at all. It was about belief. The prize was belief more than the money, and this woman, I love that she was the one that was in the newspapers. We just all assumed it was a man. And I love that she wasn't stealing from amateurs. She tested herself against professionals and won, but then was so gracious at the end to come back and to say, it's like tipping the hat to equals, right? Tipping the hat to equals and going, let's do this together. I thought it was incredible. I would have loved to have seen the next movie with the 3 of them doing stuff together.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see a sequel of it. Well, I mean,
do you guys see the twist coming? I saw it coming.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to say, Will, is that the twists didn't seem that twisty to me, except the ending. I didn't remember the ending, and I didn't actually expect her to come back. I just thought, you guys are rubes. And
I didn't see that coming.
But that's the thing. The twist wasn't the twist. The twist was that she came back, and it was like that tip of a hat. That's why I thought it was so brilliant. It was so brilliant.
I didn't see the first twist coming. I got thrown off when Michael Caine was a con man. I was out of my depth the whole time. I was like, what?
Hey, I have some moon dust to sell you. What did you have any of you guys ever spent time in the south of France?
I went to Champagne this past summer, but the Champagne region, but that's it.
Summertime south of France, those characters are walking around.
Oh, I imagine, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's so funny because you're watching this and you're like, they are such a type. They're playing them so well. It was so funny.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you guys, what do you think about that as a way to make a living? Scamming old rich ladies?
I love it. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of funny. If you're going to scam people, I'd rather you scam rich people than, poor people that can't afford it.
Yeah, social life is not a job.
I wish it could be.
Yeah. I keep hearing about those women who are socialites, and I'm like, what is that? You just have money and you walk around?
Yeah.
Ladies who lunch. Yeah.
Rich, just rich ladies, yeah. Well, do you think anybody's actually that gullible as they portrayed them in the film?
Yes.
You do?
I think so.
No.
Yeah, I think some people are very gullible. I think that if you get the right person at a moment of time of loneliness or something in their lives, that they can be taken, for sure.
I think also just certain rich people, wealthy people, they're so out of touch with actual reality that if you came to them with a good enough story, they're gonna bite. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right, but that's so the Steve Martin story of my grandma's sick, I need a little bit of cash. Yes. But the fact that these rich socialites are getting conned by a guy who's my unspecified country is fighting communists and I have a British accent for no reason.
Yeah,
get the fuck out of here.
That one's way more unbelievable. That's
no,
for sure.
But if you have some stupid, uneducated, rich woman from Idaho, right, who's never met a European before, you don't. I don't know.
Well, when I was thinking about this, the question, are people really that gullible? I thought we all know the rich prince scam, right? This is one that actually exists in the real world, where
It got me.
The guy emails you and says, "Hey, I'm a rich prince, but I just need $100,000 from you, and then I will give you $1 million back. I just need that to pay the bank fees." And it exists for a reason. People have fallen for it.
I'll tell you guys a story about how I got scammed twice, but after the show. It's not to be.
It's not
said
for recording
on the show. No.
Oh, did you lose a lot of money?
It's a very good story. Do you guys want to? No.
Yeah. It's put it on the air.
I'll tell my scam story if you want to tell yours.
No, I literally will tell you guys after the show.
Okay, off air.
My mother might listen to this show.
Well, your mother doesn't listen to this show, Matthew. She listens to the episodes you're not on.
I'll tell mine. Mine's not that bad. I was in Cambodia buying weed, and I gave it was a tuk-tuk driver, which is like a little taxi cab, and I gave him $100 US bill, and he gave me the weed and then gave me all the change back. And then as soon as he drove away, I was like, this feels weird. And I went to the bar and I was like, is this real money? And he goes, nope. So I basically gave him $100 for a bag of swag. Like, it was just the worst weed in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still have the fake money?
I don't have the fake money anymore, no. I think I burned
If I was a billionaire, the rich prince thing is what I would do. I would email old ladies and say, if you send me $100, I'll send you 10,000, and then I will actually do it. And then their family will never believe them.
Hey, speaking of scams, I just read about one locally here, which is people that read the obituaries to find dead people and then send money for flowers pages for people they don't know.
That's a pretty good idea,
pretty good.
actually.
Yeah. Okay, before we go to the categories, Matthew, I wanted to ask you, are rich people really that shallow? And the part that made me laugh is when
Olen, we both know some rich people. We both know.
But I'm not that shallow.
Some millionaires, and technically on paper we probably are, but we also know billionaires. Some are shallow, some aren't. Just like poor people.
You guys know billionaires?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Zawer know thousandaires.
Do we?
Yeah, I don't even know what we do. I was making a joke, but I thought
Well, Matthew, the part I liked is when Lawrence was showing Freddie how to be rich and how to spend your money, and he's like, this wine, he's like, oh, do you drink it? No, it's too valuable to drink. Oh, you're going to sell it then? Like, no, it means too much to me to sell.
That was brilliant, because you laugh at culture when you saw that, right? You just laugh at what people do. Because if you stop and think about it, it's ridiculous. Because what is wealth, really? Wealth is eating great food and drinking great wine and meeting people and having a roof over. That's the real wealth. Everything else just is in storage. That's not wealth. That's storage. Even money, that's storage.
I know.
Wealth isn't enjoying it every day.
Yeah.
That's real wealth.
Well, while I was watching that movie, I was drinking a $9 bottle of wine, so...
I was drinking water.
Okay, best parts. What did you guys like from this film?
Can I just break in? I'm really surprised. I thought all of you would like this. Like, I loved it so much. I thought you guys would love it as well.
I liked it. I'm not coming into this saying it was a bad movie at all. I just thought it was a little too long, and yeah, maybe like Zawer said, I would have liked more jokes packed in. But no, I didn't dislike it by any means. And one thing I want to give a shout out to is the cinematography. I thought it was shot beautifully.
Yeah.
And the opening scene, it has opening credits, which are kind of a thing of the past. And that kind of brought me back to the glory days of Hollywood. Like just scenes, it's such a switch to like the ADHD generation, because like we can't sit through a minute of opening credits.
Yeah, or like anything past exactly 90 minutes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like a teenager watching this movie would fast forward that probably.
I have to say, when I started watching this film, I thought this one is going to be exactly what the podcast is about. One that we remember is, that was hilarious. And then the younger generation watches it and says like, that's what you guys thought was funny?
So for me, the best part was And I'm probably surprising you with this, Olen. You probably thought I was going to come in and be cranky about
Nope,
it.
I knew you would like it. I knew you would like it. As soon as I saw Michael Caine's rich impression with the glass and stuff like that, that's Mathew. There he is.
And you also, I generally love any Michael Caine film as
He's
well.
great.
I have to admit that.
He's great.
But the movie is beautifully built, right? It's disciplined. I felt every scene escalated, every lie stacked properly, and you always know who thinks they're winning. So it's just so well done. And I think comedies built on deception usually wobble, and for me, this one never did, right? And I think the best part is the ending was the real flex. The ending just, I really liked the movie, then the ending happened, and I was like, I love this movie!
Well, we'll talk about how it did later.
Ruprecht was great. Steve Martin, Michael Caine's performances were great. Who's the actress? She was great, and the ending was great. Those are my best parts.
Glenn Headley was her name.
Yeah, and I love that they use like the
Tough
Colgate
name for a lady.
I love that they use the Colgate name as well, right? Because it sounds like there would be, because there was a Colgate family, but over the years they all married and stuff, so there's no Colgate heiress left, right? So it's really funny that they use Colgate.
Yeah, best parts, I'm going to go Ruprecht. That's probably my number one.
If I can just jump on that and say yes. I mean, that the character was brilliant. Even the name, Rupert. Like, not Rupert, but Rupert. It was hilarious.
Like, Ruprecht. It was just so funny. And then, I don't know, I liked, like, just the little competition scenes after they decided to do their little wager. Like, Steve Martin rolling up to the roulette table in a wheelchair. I was like, oh, he's going for it. Like, he's just... He's not pulling any punches.
Michael Caine just like putting on a German accent and diving in.
Yeah. And then like the scene where he's like, Michael Caine's going up the stairs, the lady, and Steve Martin's like, I'd like to come too. And then he's like, get out of the chair, come on. Like, they just kind of kept upping each other, like each other. Yeah. And then, obviously he climbs up the stairs and he's like, I climbed. And then, I don't know. It was just, I liked that part for sure. And then,
that part when he's torching his legs was so funny.
Yeah. And then, obviously I did see the twist coming, but the twist of the girl being the con man, I think was like a nice little way to wrap up the story. Like, she played her con beautifully. Like, she was a genius. She really dug in and like sold it well. And then, I don't know.
I can't emphasize how little I saw that coming. I
mean, did you really? Did you not see it at all?
No, I was like hollering. Yeah, I was like calling my roommate, like, "Oh shit!"
Next year he's gonna. This last year he was BC's funniest person. Next year he's gonna be BC's best mark. Is what he's gonna be.
BC's best mark.
So
the soundtrack, incredible.
Oh, was it? I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, a lot of good music. Like. A lot of good, like, French jazz.
I want to go back to Rupert. So just two parts about his scene there. First of all, what did we do when Uncle Ted was here, Rupert? The glove? Remember the glove and putting the...
Oh, yeah.
And then the great scene at the dinner table. May I go to the bathroom, please? Thank you. That was so good. I love that.
Yeah.
And then I had the location, too, the French Riviera. You can't beat it. Like, it just makes me want to go and live in that villa.
Yeah, it was stunning.
Also, I love trains.
Yes, good point. I love trains.
It made me mad that we don't have trains in Canada. Well, we do, but they suck.
If we're going deep into transportation, the other thing I liked is an airplane with aisles that wide. Like, you could have 3 people standing side by side in the aisle of that airplane. I wanted to be on that one.
Have you ever noticed airplane aisles are way wider in movies, and TV shows and movies, everyone's in a twin bed. There's never a king-size bed. So whatever, there's a shot of a couple in bed because they have to get the shot in. So they're all in like twin-size beds. Like in reality, no couple would actually be sleeping on that bed.
That makes sense.
Funny.
Or that close.
Agreed.
Or that close, unless they are newlyweds.
I will say me and Jess do sleep in a double, so I'll just put that out there.
Do you?
We do.
Yeah. They are the thousandaires in question.
But it's bunk bed. Okay, let's go to worst parts. What did you guys not like? I can lead off. I had pasty Steve Martin in a Speedo.
Yeah, that was a
That was
eyesore
horrible.
for sure.
Oh, I was cranking one out on that scene.
Really, you like the silver foxes, eh?
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. My limit is 29.
Nice. Worst parts.
I can keep going.
I think some of the beats leaned a little bit broad, but I think that's 80s comedy, so you got to accept it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this is like part of it, but there was a lack of conflict. Like, I know the whole thing is this big conflict, but every time there's a twist, I mean, I know that's the plot, but they just go along with it immediately, and there was like
But that
zero direct conflict.
Earlier in the movie, the police chief said, like, I got a guy. He'll kill him. He'll clean up the body. It'll be no problem. Why don't we just do that? He's like, no.
But you see, that's why I like the movie, because it was about play. That's what I meant. It wasn't about the money. It was about belief. It was all a game. So I love that there wasn't any like real hard conflict, because everyone was just playing, which I liked.
Oh, when he gets when he's supposed to get beaten up by the Marines,
Oh, yeah.
and then Michael Caine comes back and he's like the life of the party, but he's handcuffed. That's great.
Actually,
That was fun.
The double turnaround.
Or he's
First, Michael Caine got taken, and then he got back without conflict. Yeah, that was good.
he's also glued to the wall. He's like, he got the glue thing.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Okay, in worst parts, I had two more things. Michael Caine dancing, I did not like. And then my last one is pomade. Putting that goop in your hair to grease it back.
That was quite a bit too. It looked like he was lubing an axle or something.
Oh.
Like he was like, it was crazy.
Yeah, but I think that speaks to. I mean, it's the same as that wine cellar scene. Is like Michael Caine isn't a rich guy, really.
He's pretending.
He's a poor guy's idea of a rich guy. So he does over the top with the pomade. He doesn't drink his wine. Like, actual princes don't live like that.
Actually, that reminds me. One of the best scenes was the whole montage where he's teaching him to be rich or look rich, with the suit and pouring the champagne from the cloth.
Yeah. Also, Taylor touching your balls. All-time classic.
Yes.
Every single time a poor person goes to the tailor, why are they touching my balls?
Yeah,
Every time. Every movie, every TV
You're right.
show.
In every movie where it's a guy that's like first time he's ever done it, every single one. You're right. It's hilarious.
It's a good trope.
Classic bit.
Okay, favorite lines. There were a lot of good ones here.
Favorite lines.
I like "You're gonna enjoy being crippled," and I really liked. Wait. I wrote it down. Ruprecht, do you want the genital cuff?
Yes, I had that.
And why is the cork on the fork?
Yeah, that
yeah,
whole
that's
scene.
great.
Stab himself. Yeah, that one was one of mine too, for sure.
He also takes off the eye patch and his eye's fine.
I had this one isn't very funny, but it's when Michael Caine is talking to the cop about Steve Martin going to do some cons or something. I forget the scene, but he's like, a poacher who shoots at bunnies might scare the big game
Yeah,
away.
I had that. That was a good one.
I liked that. I like that one.
Well, I liked when Freddie was in jail and talking to the policeman, and the policeman said, "Shame on you, preying on women when you're a married man." And he said, "You get it. You're French." So the line was, "To be with another woman is French. To be caught is American."
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was awesome. I love any good dig at the French. That was awesome. Shout out to
Or
our
the
French
Americans.
And I've got one last one before we move on. Know your limitations. You are a moron.
Also, when they're in the police station, he's like, "I'll talk to the sheriff," and he goes there, and the sheriff, like, even if you don't speak French, he's obviously shouting no repeatedly.
Yeah.
And then he just walks back, and he's like, "Yeah, I worked it out."
Yeah, there were some nice touches like that in the movie.
So true.
So now the fun part, we'll find out how this movie did. And do you guys think this movie did well in the day?
I think it did probably okay. Yeah, I don't know. Was this height of Steve Martin's
Yeah.
like career?
It was getting to be the height of his career, yeah.
Like, did he have HBO specials and all that?
Yeah. That was after stand-up.
Yeah, it was
after
after stand-up. It was after he had early success in films. He'd already done Roxanne. He'd done Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which was huge.
So he was a draw.
He was a
draw for
That's,
sure.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
that's the thing is back then people would go to every movie.
Yeah.
And if it's Steve Martin and he's on that run.
I think because of that and Michael Caine, I'm sure he was probably a bit of a draw as well. I'm gonna say it did pretty well. If you tell me the budget, I'll guess.
And I think it was also a unique pairing that people were really interested to see these two together.
For sure.
Because
Yeah.
I think this is 1988. I don't think you would have guessed those two would be in a movie together. Okay. According to Box Office Mojo Worldwide, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels was the 24th biggest earner at the box office in 1988. Who Framed Roger Rabbit was the biggest earner at the box office this year, and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels was beat by other comedy films this year, like Twins, The Naked Gun, and A Fish Called Wanda.
Oh, Naked Gun.
But 24th is a strong showing, and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels beat other funny movies this year, like The Great Outdoors and The Funny Farm. Just for the record, Rain Man was the Oscar winner this year. And Will, you wanted to guess how this did? Budget was 6.5. What's box office in 1988?
6.5, 1988. They made $32 million.
Zauer, you think that's right?
$32,001,001.
Ah, you piece of shit.
You just got prices right.
30, and I'll add another dollar on top of it.
Okay, well, Mathew wins. 42 million.
Come on, you pieces of
That
shit.
should have been me.
So, Olen, something I just realized. Remember in the 80s, it just suddenly occurred to me that we kind of went to the cinema. We kind of saw all the movies. Like
We did.
There were so fewer movies made that back then than there are now that like almost everyone would go to a lot of the movies.
Yeah, you'd see
Right,
everything.
because I think-
First of all, there weren't as
Because
many movies.
I think there's probably like a tenth of the movies that are made these days,
Agreed.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, there was much fewer movies in those days, and we just went to see them all. So,
Yeah.
and
Also, I might be calling you really old, but was air conditioning a factor? Because I heard that the idea of a summer blockbuster is that everyone would go to the cinema for the air conditioning.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I thought you were saying what they didn't have it in the theater. Yeah, every once in a while we would go to a movie just to be in air conditioning. That is absolutely true.
Wow. It is definitely like a dying art. Like the whole industry has changed, and the way we consume movies is so different now. And
I know.
and the way they even produce movies for people to
I mean,
view
like
is
10
different.
years ago, my big scam was to like buy a ticket to a movie and then as soon as it ends, sneak into another theater
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
classic.
because it's
Yeah,
2
we
for
used to
1.
do.
And now I'm like, what? Am I gonna sit through 2 movies? It's crazy.
Do you guys know what I do every once in a while? Like I've been too busy lately, but I've done this many times in my life. On a like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday matinee, rock up to the theater, and my rule is I have to see whatever the next movie is playing. That's the movie I'm going to see, just to shake it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you must be sitting through some stinkers.
I sat through some ones that I was like, that wasn't good, but I've also sat through ones that I would never have gone to see that I liked, right?
Yeah. That's actually what happened to Pee Wee Herman. He wasn't even trying to watch a porn. He said, whatever you got, they showed him a porn, and then they canceled him over it.
Pee Wee
Rest in
Herman
peace.
Poor
shouldn't have been
Pee-wee.
canceled.
It's actually crazy. You're masturbating at the porn theater? How dare you?
Yeah, that was a total setup, man.
It's a sting,
That's the whole point of a porn theater.
straight up.
My family's trying to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Can you keep it down?
Yeah. It's a matinee showing of Aladdin. Okay. Rotten Tomatoes. So, Zawer, if you know how this works, we try to guess what critics thought of this movie and what the audience thought of this. It's out of 100. A 50% means that half the people said this movie was worth seeing. So it's just how many people said it was good or not good.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing about Rotten Tomatoes is if you have 3 out of 5 stars across the board, your critic score is 100.
Correct. I mean,
Yeah.
I like it because it just says, is this movie worth seeing?
Yeah.
You know? So critics and audience, and don't forget it's contemporaneous, right? So this is everybody that rated it from 1988 up till this morning is captured in this. And out of all of the critics that rated this movie, what percentage of them said it was worth seeing and what percentage of audience? This is where we find out if it ages well or not.
I'm gonna say 60 critics, 70 audience. 6-7.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess 65 critics, 48 audience.
Matthew.
I'm gonna 85 both because it was a brilliant movie.
Okay, this is where you guys are going to get surprised. Critics 89, audience 84.
No way!
What?
Oh,
So
Matthew.
this is a critic darling.
That's crazy.
The critics love this movie.
Because this movie is like, it is so honestly, technically, so well put together. I'm like, critics are gonna fucking love it.
Well, there you go.
Well, I got some trivia for you guys about this movie, some fun facts. First of all, this movie was developed originally for Mick Jagger and David Bowie. And
What?
and
No.
this won't mean anything to you guys, but Matthew, if you remember the Dancing in the Street video they did in
Oh
1985,
God, worse.
worst video ever, but it was
Worst
so
video
successful
ever.
the studio bosses wanted to put them together in a movie.
What was this? It was a music video?
It was a music video.
It was David Bowie and Mick Jagger singing "Dancing in the Streets" together, and it was slightly homoerotic.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
horrible.
But it's like badly done. Yeah.
I will say, David Bowie as Rupert, if he lifted that eye patch
That would be
and the eye is a different color.
that would be good actually. That would be good.
Okay, the scene where Freddy's in jail trying to remember Lawrence's name. Remember, he's like, Lauren, Jamie, Laurie.
He forgot his name.
Okay, so the entire scene
Did he
was
rip-
improvised. Yeah, that scene, Matthew. The entire scene was improvised, and the director was crouched just out of camera range and just let Steve Martin go. And then he tapped Anton Rogers, that's the guy that played the cop. He just tapped him on the foot off screen when he thought it had kind of run out of steam. So he just let him go.
Wow.
Interesting.
The way that Frank Oz got Michael Caine to do this film is he tempted him with the promise of that villa for 3 months. He rented him that villa for 3 months, and
That was a nice villa.
Michael Caine accepted because it was situated between his two friends. Roger Moore had the villa on one side, and his friend Leslie Briscousset had the villa on the other side. So he jumped at the opportunity to get the villa.
That's a pretty sweet deal, honestly.
You know how Michael Caine allegedly said he decides if he's doing a part?
Yeah.
He says I get the script, I read the first page and the last page, and if my part is in both pages, I say yes. Which in this movie, it opens with him.
That's what Nicolas Cage does as well.
And Nicolas Cage just says,
No, Nicolas Cage opens it, and if there's a part in it, then he just says yes.
We won't take any Nicolas Cage slander on this pod. Thank you very much.
the cardboard actor.
You watch your tone.
And by the way, he does not. But I know someone who delivered Domino's to him when he filmed in Kelowna. He does not tip well.
Because
That's
he's bankrupt.
And you can tell everyone I said this. Nicolas Cage, bad tipper.
Nick listens to our podcast, so he'll hear you.
I love you, Nick.
Okay, Steve Martin wanted the role of Jameson.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That would
Why?
be interesting. I don't think that would fit.
No,
I mean,
it wouldn't.
if Martin Short did Steve Martin's part,
Well, that might fit, but I don't know.
but then the whole movie would be too slapstick.
He played the run and gun, rough-handed con man way better, I feel like, than he would have played the mastermind.
Well, I've got,
Polished.
at the end when we talk remake, I've got some suggestions for people that could do this. Okay, quickly, let's hit woke or joke before we get to the reviews.
Nothing really stood out. It was pretty bubblegum, in my opinion.
No? Pretending to be mentally
Yeah.
challenged?
Well,
They were acting.
yeah, I mean...
They're con men. That's the point.
That probably wouldn't fly today, but like Jim Carrey did that in frickin' Ace Ventura. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
and that was
Yeah.
probably a decade later.
there's another fun movie.
Tom
You're acting like Esventura came out this year.
And Tom Cruise does it in every movie he plays in.
All right.
No, that probably wouldn't fly. You're right.
Character actor.
Well, however you guys felt about this movie, I promise you there's others who liked it more or less than you. For this movie, there were 49 10-star reviews out of 225 total reviews, so about 20%, Matthew. Many of them praised the location as part of the charm, and the chemistry between the two actors is the key. So I got just a couple of example reviews here for you guys. These are 10-star reviews. I've never met anyone who did not like this film. It seems to appeal to a lot of people, young and old. The three leads were all in top form. Mathew, you agree with that, right?
Agreed.
Next one. I didn't want to see this film. My wife said I must see it. One day I saw it, and this is now my favorite movie.
That's great.
Nice.
How about this kid? I'm 23 years old, and I have seen this film literally 150 times. This film isn't only hilarious, it's brilliant.
Wow.
It's Mathew from when he was 23.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I have one reviewer that does talk about the depiction of being mentally challenged, who says, snowflakes are offended at this movie. Boo-hoo, go join the Amish if comedy hurts your
Oh my
feelings.
fucking god.
Oh my god.
Not once in this movie did they ever state that he was being a parody of any specific mentally disabled person. But he isn't. He's Monkey Boy. There you go. 10-star review.
Interesting.
That sounds like an angry man.
Yeah, angry 10-star reviews. You don't get those very often. It's usually the 1-star. So out of 225 reviews, there were only 4 1-star reviews.
Oh wow.
So only 4 people. That's like 2% of people hated it. This movie is banal, juvenile, idiotic, and patronizes the audience. If it was made today, it would have gone straight to video. The characters are two-dimensional. The only redeeming feature is the setting. Apart from everything with Adam Sandler in it, I can recommend no movie less. Guy doesn't like Adam Sandler.
That person has no personality.
And another reviewer prefers Steve Martin when he's not overacting, as he claims he is in this film.
That's his whole shtick.
He calls Caine.
Can you imagine Steve Martin not overacting?
That is his stick. When does he not overact?
He always.
Well, I mean, it was a little. Some parts were over the top in this. It was supposed to be, but like I don't know. Only Murders in the Building. He's still comical, and there is some slapstick, but he's like
That's
That's
true.
true. That's
not
true.
overacting as much.
And he has a bowl.
But also, that's the premise. Is it's a movie about con men with Stephen
Matt,
Martin.
he played his part perfectly.
He did actually.
Okay, so 89% of critics liked this movie. What about the professionals, Siskel and Ebert? Do you think they liked it? Mathew?
I'm gonna say this one, one up and one down.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet.
Ebert hated it, didn't he?
Well, let's find out. Siskel said that Caine and Martin are individually funnier than the material they had been given. He said that there were some good laughs, but the movie was predictable. He said it was a tough call, but he ended up giving it a thumbs down.
So who made these guys critics of movies anyway?
That's a really good question. A lot of people have said that over the years. Burt
why?
Reynolds famously roasted these guys by saying, like, you guys have never worked in the movie industry. You've never done a movie. Who are you to say this movie's no good? Anyhow,
Yeah.
I digress. Ebert agreed that the twists were just not there, but said that the two actors were so funny together that he gave it a thumbs up.
Oh,
There you go, an up and down.
Ebert believed the two actors had great chemistry, and Siskel disagreed. Okay, so remake or sequel? Mathew, what do you think? Does it deserve a remake? Does it deserve a sequel?
I would have liked to have seen a sequel at the time. If they did a remake, they'd probably ruin it.
I got my picks for a remake, but we'll get there in a second. Do you guys want to see more from these characters?
I think you could do a remake today, and you could have done a sequel then. You can't do a sequel today, but yeah, I think the material's there. It's like it's a great premise and plot, and like the way they ended it with the girl coming back and wanting to con with them, like that just sets up so many storylines. So I liked it. I don't know. There's options there, I think.
yeah. My rule about remakes is they shouldn't try to remake anything that was crazy successful. Like you should remake something that could have been a lot better. So I think they could like just do a different take on it, like a more joke-packed, less slapsticky version.
I agree with your rule that you shouldn't remake it unless you can make it significantly better than it was. Like, don't take a movie that was great already, but I think there's room for this. Well, first let me tell you that the movie was used as source material for the musical Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which opened in New York in 2005 and ran for 627 performances and was nominated for a 2005 Tony Award for the Best Musical.
Wow.
Yeah, it would make sense. It's a good plot comedy.
By the way, there was a, a spiritual remake. In 2018, The Hustle, starring Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson, was based on Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. So they did the gender flip and basically.
Yeah, I saw that and it was enjoyable, but it wasn't even close to how good this movie is.
Well, it was rated much lower, but adjusting the revenues, it made twice as much. Okay, here's my pitch for remake: Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
Classic, yeah, solid.
Yeah.
I think those guys would be great.
Can't go wrong. I think who has great comedic chops is Ryan Gosling.
Oh, he does, yeah.
He played Steve
Yeah.
Martin's part.
I agree.
Like I think he could play that so freaking
Yeah,
well.
you need someone younger than Farrell.
Like him and Russell Crowe in that movie, The Nice Guys.
Yes.
That was like such a great comedic duo. Like Russell Crowe pretty straight. I wouldn't put Russell Crowe in Michael Caine's part, but like Ryan Gosling and frickin' I don't know.
Hugh Jackman?
Sure.
Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman's a little old for it now. Ryan Gosling, I agree. He'd be a good Rupert.
Oh my God, he would kill a Ruprecht.
Who can we put in that Michael Caine role from today?
You know who'd be good? You know who'd be good is Christoph Waltz.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the one right there. Let's make it happen.
That's perfect casting.
Book it, Hollywood.
I mean, the accent. He would have to pretend to be English.
Oh, I did love that touch at the end when he was Australian. He came out with the Australian accent.
Yeah, crushed
What was
it.
his character name? What did she say his name was?
It's like Mr. Big Australia or Mr.
O'Leary?
It's Roy O'Toole or something.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, something like that.
O'Toole.
It was hilarious.
I think Tom Hiddleston would have been good
Oh,
in a
that's
remake.
a good pick.
Because posh, right? Or he's older. So like Hugh Laurie would be great in that role as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Michael Caine's role.
Yeah, he'd be good too. Yeah, great. Well, do you want to hear from the day some of the actors that were considered for this?
Oh God, it's the same ones as always.
I think so.
They always roll out the 5 other actors of the era.
Rowan Atkinson, John Cleese, Richard Dreyfuss, Eric Idle, Dudley Moore, Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
He could have pulled it off.
John Cleese would be a great Michael Caine part.
Actually, Dudley Moore would be good at this too.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, we got to expose you guys to some
Dudley.
Dudley Moore movies. He was a funny
Dudley.
actor.
I'm looking him up.
When you get caught between the moon, he was in the movie Arthur.
Yes, he was.
That's where When You Get Caught Between the Moon in New York City.
Christopher
the song is
Cross.
from.
Yep.
Never seen this guy in my life.
He was funny.
Yeah, he had some great movies.
Oh no, he's dead, guys.
Yeah,
He
he's
can't do a
long
remake.
dead. He's long dead.
Yeah, long since dead. Okay, well, we're actually at the end of this podcast, so now we have to determine, is this movie too old or pure gold? Matthew?
Pure, not fool's gold, pure gold.
Okay, millennials, what do you guys think?
I'm gonna have to say pure gold. It's too long for me for my liking, but it is. There's a lot of great parts, and it was funny, and I'll say pure gold.
Zawer?
Yeah, I mean, it holds up. I don't think it was the best movie of all time, but I don't think it's any weaker now than it was.
Okay.
I think it's solid. That was a movie. That was fun.
Like Siskel, I am very on the fence. I think there's good parts to this film, but I think just seeing that comedy pairing together, I think is worth it, so I'll call it pure gold.
There you go. Unanimous, pretty much.
Are a lot of old female parts just the same confused women? Like any movie pre-90, every woman is playing the same non-part.
Yeah, but it's paid off in the end, though, right? Like
That's true.
and that was
There is
actually
some, like every Hitchcock movie, that's the same acting you do as a woman
Yeah.
in it.
yeah.
This was the genesis of my question. Are people really that gullible? Like, these women were really falling for some pretty stupid scams, but anyhow,
Yep, that's show business.
that's show business. Well, I also liked, I mean, it was a good setup, Matthew, where Lawrence was calling the women the weaker sex at the beginning of the movie, and that was all a setup for the end.
It was.
Yeah, so that was good. That came full circle. Okay, well, guys, thanks for doing this episode with me. Will, thanks for coming on. Zawer, nice to have you on for the first time.
Thank you, guys. That was fun.
I hope you had fun. Would love to see you on again. And Matthew, nice to see you again.
Hey, we haven't done Naked Gun yet, right?
Nope, we haven't, but it's on the list.
Can we please? Yeah, let's do Naked Gun because that's a powerhouse, and
I haven't
Zawer would
seen
be
it.
great for that. You never seen it? Oh, he's never seen it. Oh,
Well,
there
that's
you go.
perfect. Then we'll put it on the schedule and get you guys on to do that together. That's a good one.
Yeah. A lot of movies, I just know the parts you gotta know.
Yeah.
I just know Don't Call Me Shirley, and I think I get it.
That's not Naked Gun. Don't Call Me Shirley. Isn't that Airplane?
Yeah, Don't Call Me Shirley is from Airplane, and
Naked Gun is Nice Beaver. Thanks, I just had it stuffed.
that's right.
Yeah, it's 2 hours of that.
It's gold.
So good.
It's I can tell you right
So
now
good.
it's gold, but we'll do the movie on this podcast. Anyhow, yeah, our Airplane episode was fun.
Totally. Awesome.
Okay.